Welcome to Game On. I'm Drew Miller. This is a video series all about promoting small businesses by highlighting the business and doing some fun celebrity interviews. I got a hybrid one today. He's a celebrity in my mind. He is also a business owner. So he's a great friend.
Yes.
He's an awesome guy. Please help me welcome Zak McClellan.
Love it. Millsy, I'm pumped to catch up. Like I was saying, because we were just catching up. I mean, I always just love whenever we get a chance to get together. It's always fun. And so I wish we could record all of our times. Boy, we'd have some good highlights.
For sure we would. So being an old teammate, great friend, I want to get as much information about your businesses to the viewers as possible. But also, let's talk a little hockey, talk a little bit about what's going on with Michigan State and maybe a little bit about the NHL here starting up soon. So,
First
question, you're a businessman, you're an entrepreneur, you have a family business. There's a lot that goes into that in a lot of different locations. Kind of just talk about where you guys are located, what you guys do, and maybe a little history behind the whole thing with your family.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'm lucky first and foremost to have grown up in a family business. I think there's, when you grow up in a family business, it starts unique because everybody kind of chips in at different times, even when you're young. I know I was stirring fudge at probably 12. I know it was when I officially was starting to work. So, you kind of get tossed into that stuff early, but I think it's really fortunate when you get older. So my family's in the fudge, chocolate, taffy, all types of confections business. And we have 4 stores in Frankenmuth. We have 1 store in St. Ignace, Michigan. And then we have 3 in Sault Ste. Marie. And then we have a seasonal one in Rochester that we have that we rent from Yates Cider Mill. So, we've been doing things down there for 30 years. So really fortunate to help out and run those candy shops for our family. It's kind of been what I've been doing since I stopped playing hockey. So came home after hockey and worked with my dad for a few years, every day. And I think that was really important to get his grasp and vision of what he wanted the business to kind of look like as he was growing older, and so that was really awesome. But in a nutshell, what makes, I think, business really unique is we are also a manufacturer of all the candies. So a lot of chocolate shops or fudge shops, things of that nature, if you go to them, they'll buy their fudge from another company and sell it, or they'll buy the chocolates, from a big manufacturing company and then sell those chocolates. And those chocolates are awesome, but we make everything. So all the caramels, the little caramels, the toffees, the corns, the taffy, the fudge. So everything we make in the stores for those stores. And to me, I've thought just even recently, that's really unique. So I think it's kind of the coolest part of our business is that we actually manufacture everything.
And then what are some of the names of the shops and stuff? And when people are coming to Frankenmuth or they're in St. Ignace or Sault Ste. Marie or Rochester, what are some of the names of these places? And I'm sure a lot of these viewers have already been to these places because you guys are so popular, but just throw out
we're lucky too, being in Frankenmuth, the city, really, really cranks and it's fun and nice. And we're really lucky to be here. So we get a lot of foot traffic. But the Frankenmuth Fudge Kitchen is definitely our flagship store. It's been here, since the early 70s. And it's right on the corner of Main Street and is a great, beautiful little shop. We have our newest brand. It's an old shop, but we've just flipped the branding on it. And it went from Zak's, which used to be, obviously was named after me. But since, with my dad passing, we've kind of done it and spun it to a lot of history. So now we named them Zak and Max, and it's kind of become our brand that we're kind of trying to lean towards. So we've flipped 2 stores to become Zak and Max stores. And as you got to go through it, there's timelines of all of our history in there. And The branding's a little bit more fresh and fun, and we kind of added some new candy lines to it. And so we have 2 of those in Frankenmuth. We also have the Frankenmuth Taffy Kitchen, which makes all the, they make all the taffy and everything right in the store too. So it's really, it's really interactive. You get to watch everything be made at these stores. So, so those are those brands. And then in St. Ignace is another Zak and Max. We flipped that store too. And then Sault Ste. Marie is Zak's and Fudge du Lac, which was the original store my dad started at. So we started in Sault Ste. Marie, and that's been there since '64. And then we opened Oak Crepe and Coffee a couple years ago as a little kind of spin-off of Prost. So
awesome. So you guys have Prost. That's kind of your baby. Your wife, Korina, and you run Prost. It's a wine bar and charcuterie. Just talk about, you're spending most of your time there. You have a lot of passion for it. Just talk about some of the cool, unique things that people are going to see in there, from the small plates to the wine to charcuterie boards, just the atmosphere and all that.
Yeah.
Just kind of touch on that too.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I remember, and I feel like you and I have even done that. You're at a bar and you're like, boy, we should do one of these, as we've had like, 8, wobbly pops. And, but God, since we started it, holy man, I have so much respect for that business, it just really takes a lot. So whenever I go into one, I always appreciate everybody's hard work. That's for sure. And Prost is the same, but yeah, we just, moving back, with hockey, you travel so much, no matter where you're at with it, you get a lot of chances to see other cities and cool things that everybody's are doing. And with Korina too, being from Canada and, going to school in Ottawa, which is like really a European, vibe of a city, and her Italian background with her dad being from Italy and everything. When we moved to Frankenmuth, we just kind of felt like there could have been a niche, to try to, I don't know, just to try to hit something of a different vibe and more of a big city feel, but in a small, really quaint spot in a small town. And I working in a family business, I guess if there's anybody who's been in one, there are certain times where, sometimes you wish you could do a little bit more, but the business has always been kind of going in a similar way. And one day I literally came home and I was like, I'm going to call somebody about a liquor license. And Korina was like, what? And I did. And I didn't think it was going to happen. And the lady was like, yeah, sure, I'll sell it. And so I bought it, not knowing that you couldn't sit on a liquor license. So then when I bought it, I got a letter from the state and they're like, you have 12 months to make this active. So it was a pretty big push, not knowing that was going to have to happen. So that's kind of the actual story behind it. I was more just like, oh, I don't know, I'm just going to call and do it. And
now look at it. It's a success now, and you guys are doing well and making a name for yourself there in town. Other than Fudge and Toffee, you got Prost and wine and charcuterie. So that's awesome.
Thanks, man. We're trying, buddy.
Yeah. No, it's cool. So pretty much like you played hockey at Michigan State. We played together there. You went on to talk about how you played a little pro hockey before coming back to the family business. I think with hockey, a lot of us that played hockey or played sports, you realize how it prepares you for life and teaches you a lot of lessons. And when it comes to being for hockey, I try to take into my business. What are some of the ways that you've taken some of the lessons you've learned through hockey to be successful in your business? Yeah,
no, and I loved your answers when I was watching, before and you were talking with gents. I loved your answers about hockey, and just like you're forced all the time to learn how to deal with all different types of people, and like you really learn how to handle people, and I kind of really mirror what you said there. Is so lucky to learn how to take direction, number one, and we've all had coaches, and I think you learn what coaches are really good at giving directions, and as you look back and say which ones you'd like to be, take things that they did really well, and use those as in your leadership points. And like captains of teams, like I look at things, like even you did when we were at state, that I really admired, and it's because you're working with, at Michigan State, like you're a captain. I mean, I think I might have even been older than you, but I really, I looked up to, the way that you did things, and you learn how to take direction from all, people who are older, younger. And so I always think back to that a lot, and I'm thankful for that. But yeah, and I think you just learn how to battle through a lot of tough times, I mean, just like I thought too, how you said, in one of them as well, you go from being like a really good star, player at one level, and then you go to you make a jump, and maybe you have to learn your role there, like I remember you were talking a lot about, when you went to the pros and realized that you could really be in the league if you got good at certain things.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of, that's a great sounding board for business too.
Yeah. No, I think I think you're in a great business for you because you are so personable. You make everyone feel so welcome when not even in your restaurant or whatever, but like when you just see guys that we played hockey with, everyone wants that you kind of draw guys towards you, and everyone wants to be around you. So I think you're in a great business for that. You're a people person, and you're definitely going to continue to have success because of the way you are with people, but you're driven and you work hard, and you rise to the challenge. So
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no, you guys are going to do great there.
Yeah, means a lot.
A lot of people don't know, or maybe they do, but you are. I was talking about how everyone kind of drawn to you, but you are a funny guy. You are a funny dude. So at Michigan State, you were the Goofus Award winner for 4 years, which means you got the Funny Guy Award for 4 years, which is really hard to do. As a freshman, you come in and you're going to beat out all these other funny guys to win the award, but you did it. Just talk about some of your experiences, just some of your favorite things that happened at school. Obviously, you guys won a national championship. Also, Michigan State has the hockey team has an addition to the rink right now, new locker room, new experience part for the fans. So just kind of touch on your experience there and some of the new stuff that's going on for the team.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was so jacked to just be at Michigan State. I think, and even now, like even when I go back for alumni things and, like see like you and everybody else, like sometimes I'm just like, holy crap, I really was able to play at Michigan State. I just think the university is like so awesome, and I was definitely like that when I was there too. But man, we were lucky. I don't know if you think back to it, but even when I go there now, like we were blessed with the guys that we had there. I know everybody says like, man, we had great guys, but I might be, I don't know. The teams that we were on were like, there were some beauties.
Yeah, we have some great guys.
Yeah, and so like, man, they made it so fun, and just for whatever reason, I mean, those were good years of recruiters or recruits and great guys and great hockey players too. And so we had good teams. I mean, the team that we were on your last year, that team was unbelievable. If you comb through that lineup was pretty incredible, man. Like there's a lot of guys who played in the NHL or played high levels in the American League and overseas off that team. So I can't believe
you had to get rid of some of the dead weight, and
we just had to cut the fat, really. Cut the fat a little bit and round it out. And we, our national championship team, what I always tell people, we didn't take ourselves very seriously. We worked really hard, but I think we were kind of like, we're just always about where we were at on day to day. We didn't overthink it, that's for sure. And we just caught fire at the right time, man. We had a lot of really good guys back from the prior year, that the team that you were on. And so we didn't, we still had a lot of our really highly touted guys back, and we just got hot.
Yeah, well, I still remember watching you guys win the national championship. I was in Portland, Maine.
Yeah.
In the bar called Rivalries. Me and my wife, Colleen, were sitting there watching after I had an afternoon game. And went right over there after watching, and I was literally running around the bar, like cheering and celebrating when you guys won. I was so pumped.
Dude, I actually feel like I remember talking to you like after the game when we were on our travel back, because I just remember there was like
you were on the ice leaving messages.
Yeah, I just remember that I vaguely remember us talking on the phone, and then but you went and then went up to Anaheim that same year and won the cup with them.
Yeah, it was a good
I
year
mean, so it was
for
a
me
great
and
year for
Sparty.
Sparty Sports.
That was fun.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, the one thing I always talk about of I first with being the goofus thing and things like that. Um, we I don't know for some reason, but I don't think I tried anything. I'm just one of those guys where I think messed up things happen to you, and you just gotta like look around and be like, like you almost
Yeah,
gotta
you
laugh
are
at
a
like,
funny dude. You are a funny guy, and I think I mean I look back on those times and some great years together, and definitely you brought the group closer together. So you were
do
the
you
glue.
do you remember that one? I'm just gonna go one story for everybody because do you remember when we flew to Nebraska, Omaha, and I think it was your last year, and they didn't have a plane ticket for me.
Oh, I think that was the year after I left. I think
Was it?
I know the story though.
Yeah, yeah. So then, like, I was just gonna like stay in the airport and till another flight, and then they got me on the plane and um, literally was running all the way across Metro with like solo mission because the team had left. And they were like, the plane's gonna take off. We get there and obviously my gear is not there. So coach was like, no, we still need you to skate. So I wore all Nebraska Omaha, full to bottom, top to head, like head to toe, full red. Everybody else was in green, Michigan State stuff, and I was in full red Nebraska Omaha gear.
That's too funny. It
Dude,
could have happened to a better person.
oh man, unbelievable! I just remember the guys were howling, laughing about that.
Oh man, that's too
We
funny.
still we still do so.
Well, Zach, I mean, we could go on and on reminiscing, but it's one of those things. I think their story a little bit.
We'll save it for our times when we're together.
But hey, a lot of great information. I mean, the business endeavors you got going on right now are awesome. So viewers, if you find yourself in one of those cities he's talking about, Frankenmuth, St. Ignace, Sault Ste. Marie, Rochester, check out the different stores they have. This stuff is amazing. I mean, they get voted best one all the time for a reason. Viewers also check out some of the other small business interviews. Let's help out these small businesses, bring notice to them. Drew Miller Insurance YouTube page, subscribe to it, check out the past interviews. And Zach, man, thanks so much for coming on Game On. It's a blast catching up and talking with you. And man, I appreciate it.
It was an honor, man. I think what you're doing is really, really cool. I watch them all the time, and I love listening to you and the questions. And I appreciate you doing it for all types of small business. It's a crazy time right now. So what you're doing is really awesome.
No problem, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate it.